The
Yeah.
Panther.
The Panther, yeah. They were going to release a system called Why do they always release their systems named after cats? But okay, they were going to release something called the Panther,
Hey
which was
Ben,
supposed to
Ben.
be.
Yeah.
Cat. All right, continue,
Yeah,
Giovanni.
they need to make the. Yeah, this is like a Virtual Gamer Show reference for my channel. They need to make a Atari Coleco Kitty, right, Ben?
Oh yeah.
Coleco Kitty. We'll have to. By the way, that's going to be our next one of our next guest hosts, Coleco Kitty, my cat. You'll learn about that later. By the way, back to the Panther. Atari Panther was supposed to be a 32-bit system, although Atari skipped ahead with the Jaguar, which is a crap idea. I'm sorry, anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe if they worked a little more on the Panther, maybe the Panther could have been a little better. But no, they had to be all futuristic and try to be ahead. When ultimately the graphics on the Atari Jaguar were worse than Super Nintendo had better graphics than that. Some Super Nintendo games, like Star Fox, that had better graphics than the Atari Jaguar.
I love Star Fox.
I love it.
That'll be the other reason. That'll be the other reason to pick up a 3DS.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
You know what?
But no, like looking at a picture of the Jaguar, it looks like they made it to where they could put a CD attachment on there.
Yeah.
Oh, Giovanni, you want to what? You want to know something? Yeah, thankfully, us Canadians are smart and historic, so we know a lot, right? So I know a lot about video games, right? So,
Right.
I looked up. There's actually a sketch design of the Panther online, right? Of a sketch
Yeah.
of what the console's supposed to look like. I also found out there was.
Actually, oh, sorry. Before you keep going, just about another thing about the Panther. I heard this. My source was GameStar 81. I forgot what he exactly said, but like he was talking about something like a possible, like they had a prototype maybe
Yeah.
that was not released to public, but maybe there's still something out there. So I mean, there's some sort. I heard there's some sort of Panther prototype out there, which that must be really rare. That must be worth like $10,000 or something.
You know, yeah, they did have a prototype going, right? I think it was like maybe a tech demo. That's gonna be my guess on what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have a sketch design, tech demo, and then the company that was like designing manufacturing the parts for it. They also worked for the parts for the Jaguar as well, right?
Yeah.
Then I think I learned, yeah, prototypes that are hard to find. I Maybe it's in some garage sale. Someone doesn't know what they have and they're gonna sell it for $1, and someone's gonna have it for thousands before you know it. Like 3DO. 3DO was gonna have a second console called M2, right? And
Oh yeah, I remember that.
to the knowledge of man, there's only like two prototypes that exist. One that's partially complete and one that's practically complete.
Okay, but in conclusion, the Jaguar, I think we can all conclude, was just a fail idea. It had
Yep.
some good games, but it just was not worth.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Pulling out my
it's
knife
not-
now.
Whoa! Okay, it was not worth it. The price. It was just no good games. The graphics was, for instance, they should have been super false advertising. The graphics were not. I mean, so what? They must have been 64-bit or whatever pseudo math they did to make it. But they had like 32-bit processing units, or they added together. They thought I don't know what they did. Use pseudo math to make it look like a 64-bit system, but ultimately, I've seen Atari 2600 games that look better than that.
That's harsh. If you're comparing,
The point is, it's a crap system. That's all we gotta say.
I can name down the points of a failed console: having a worst controller ever, fake technology, terrible third-party support, and the worst marketing campaign ever. You
The
know,
worst thing, no, you're missing the most important thing with a bad system. Any system that a system could have good technology, maybe good third party support, and have all that good stuff. But if they are lacking a good library of games, then the system fails. It's ultimately the library of games that's going to. They can have all the good like augmented reality or good like extras that make it look cool, but ultimately, if it's not going to be have a good library of games, strong library of games that people are going to like, then the system fails. Done.
Basically, everything the Jaguar did wrong. Like,
Yep.
everything that a console doesn't do right, the Jaguar did it wrong.
Yes, the Jaguar really in history. Jaguar companies need to look at it to inspire them. That like whatever Atari did with the Jaguar, that is not what you do to a system. If you're going to make a system, look at the Jaguar. It will teach you exactly what not to do.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it with the Jaguar. Ben, you have any last comment?
Well, it's got a few good games, and controller sucks, and CD sucks, and it looks like a toilet.
Yep. Which is good, because I'm out of urinal kick.
You know, you feel bad for somebody who bought it and then gets like suckered and like to like all these bad games, but in like the future,
Hey,
what?
we had a Jaguar. I bought a Jaguar.
Okay, I have remorse. I have remorse for
okay.
you, Jim. I have sympathy for you. Anyways, you feel bad for someone who's not Giovanni who bought it and then like hated the console.
Hey,
I said, I
know, I'm joking.
I'll kill you later. Anyways, like you feel bad for that person who bought it, and then they get like totally screwed up that they bought this console. But then like nowadays the console is kind of expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. For if you want to buy it nowadays, it's a collector's console now. I mean, if you're a collector, then you should probably get it like for collecting purposes. And if you do get it for collecting purposes, check out the Doom game, Alien vs Predator, and Tempest 3000. Because those three games, they don't make the console work. They don't make going through all that crap worth it. And actually, and just one more thing to add, I can't believe I forgot about this till now. It didn't even come with, when it was being released in box, it said it's supposed to be like 64-bit futuristic, but it didn't even have AV cables. It had the RS.
Get out of town, really?
Yes, I mean they released an AV cable sold separately, but when you bought the console, like in the box, it came with the RF adapter. Are you kidding me? The NES came with AV cables, and that was 8-bit. Are you telling me that the Atari Jaguar, a pseudo 64-bit futuristic game console, isn't even as futuristic in some ways as an 8-bit NES system? Really? Really, Atari? Really?
That's like the other thing that confuses me. Like now, PS3 and Xbox, they all have HD, whatever, and they don't even come with HD cables. You have to buy them separately.
Exactly.
And my philosophy is they just want you to spend more money because, yeah, I'm, leaning more towards Sony, but, even Sony I've noticed is getting greedy. I know Microsoft's worse, but
yeah.
It's like I'm fine with just my regular AV cables.
Yeah, personally, I'm not too big into HD. I mean, we got an HD TV, we haven't set it up yet, but the point is but back then, like just from perspective back then, like AV was starting to get bigger. Like I mean, the Super Nintendo had AV. The game companies were starting to go into that, and here comes the Jaguar that claims, making all these outrageous claims that it is going to be the future, and yet it shows that if that's the future, then it shows that the future doesn't even know enough to. So, I mean, Atari is making all these outrageous claims that the Jaguar is supposed to be all futuristic and stuff, yet it's not even futuristic enough to compete with, from the looking standpoint of it, the presentation of the audio and video, it can't even compete with the 8-bit NES system. What's up with that?
It's horrible.
I mean, they released the AV cables, but no, they but you got to buy it separately.